iRockRadio, the world headquarters of rock. It is Mike Karolyi at Mohegan Sun Casino in Uncasville, Connecticut. We are backstage at the Wolf Den with Tyler Bryant The Shakedown. How are you guys?
Doing great, man. How you doing?
I'm tired. I'm old, but but I'm all right.
Come on. I guess that makes 5 of us.
Right. Well, you guys are not old. So, you just did an acoustic performance for us, which you guys should watch on the iRockRadio YouTube channel, so look for that. But when I think of bands touring and stuff, maybe it's a dreamlike thing, I don't know, but I always picture bands jamming like in dressing rooms and on the bus and stuff. Do you guys do that? And when you do, are you playing your own songs, or are you doing cover songs, or what do you do?
I mean, there's a little bit of, we kind of run through stuff acoustically in the green room sometimes, if we're trying to figure out something in the set. But there's not a lot of time, for backstage jamming, because I think there's so much less time to chill and hang out than people would really think about, whenever they think about a band on the road.
Right.
There's a lot of waiting and stuff, but I suppose, whenever the last couple times we've been to Europe, we had a bus and I always took a little mobile recording rig. So a lot of times it's, kicking around ideas or singing old country songs or something.
Mm-hmm. When you guys were growing up and you heard whatever it was, kind of curious what song or album put you on this path. What did you hear and said, that's what I got to do for a living? That's what I want to do.
Yeah, it was Elvis Presley for me,
really?
And then Old Time Rock and Roll by Bob Seger and Summer of '69 by Bryan Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For me, it was STP's Purple and Jeff Buckley, Grace.
Yeah. I'd say Dan the Torpedoes, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and probably Zeppelin. That's so hard to pick a record. Zeppelin 2 is probably my favorite right now.
It's great.
But, yeah.
You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caleb stole mine. I was going to say Zeppelin. I'll say Zeppelin 1 just to change it up.
Well, it's kind of interesting. A lot of your choices come from, that blues-based, rock, which is kind of coming back around now. There's a lot of bands that, whether they've been around for a little bit or are brand new, from Temperance Movement to you guys to Rival Sons to Whiskey Myers, a lot of really good bands.
Yeah.
And there seems to be this kind of what was old is new again. What do you think it is about 2019 that is making people pay attention to the kind of music you play?
Man, it's been, this kind of music has been happening for a while, I mean, we all love the blues and just, roots music in general. And we've kind of been carrying the same flag since we started the band. But it's cool that people are starting to come around, and it just takes a couple of doors to open, whether that be Greta Van Fleet getting some radio play along bands like Shinedown, getting played on the same station. Then all of a sudden there's this like little window for bands like us to come through and go, ha, watch this, And there are some great bands, like we're going on the road with Rival Sons and Stone Temple Pilots coming up next, and we're really excited to tour with those guys. And it's just a great time for roots rock and roll.
Mm-hmm. When you're writing songs, and I'm watching you guys tune up and do all that, I'm kind of curious, when you're writing the songs, is it easier to express yourself lyrically or express yourself with the guitar?
Oh, I think it's all kind of baked into one. I'm constantly playing guitar, so that's just sort of second nature. But yeah, there's this sort of thing that happens in songwriting sometimes where, I think all of us, we show up to be part of the process, and then at the end of the day, you're going, whoa, like, where did this song come from? A lot of times you don't even know until later on, where it came from or why you needed to write it. But it's a very therapeutic process.
Yeah.
Curious how the guitars help you write songs. We went to see Mark Knopfler last night up in Boston.
Nice.
And if he played 15 songs, he probably used 11 different guitars.
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of that's because of tuning and whatever, but are there guitars that you play because they give you a certain attitude? They're not just the sound of the guitar, but there's just something about that guitar that gives that song the right attitude.
Totally. Well, there's certain guitars, too, you pick them up and you go, oh, this has songs in it. I bought this little 1954 National student model guitar that's not even electric, and I can't tell you how many times I've just sat down, even that song Trouble that we just played, sat down and started writing that song on that guitar, and there's different colors for different pictures, Mm-hmm. You need a lot of different colors in your coloring box.
So tell us just a little bit about the new album. It's only been out, 2 months now or so. When you release a new album, is it exciting for you guys? Like back in the day, I always remember bands. There was it was an event, and there was parties and people lining up and all that stuff. Times are different now in how people consume music. But what do you guys do, say, on release date, the end of June, when you put out the latest album? Was there?
Yeah, we had a big party.
Yeah, we normally always line it up with a big release show.
Yep.
And whether that's at home or somewhere else. I mean, the last several times it has been at home in Nashville for us. So it's always important to celebrate with friends and family, come in and yeah, we definitely threw a party that night.
Yeah, and we're lucky to have really loyal fans. Like Shakedown fans are a tight-knit group, and they all a lot of them travel together and they link up, and there's this cool community. And so on the 28th, whenever the record came out, I believe that was the date.
Yeah.
It was cool to see them kind of all coming together from all over the place. We're playing in Nashville, but the majority of the crowd is not from Nashville.
Yeah, traveling from overseas and everything. It was crazy.
From the UK coming over for that show.
That's pretty cool.
Nuts.
And you see a lot of that on social media too. You see how widespread your fan base is now with the way social media is.
Yeah, you can look at it. And it was also cool on album release day to play the songs, and they're singing every word. Like they've listened to it. They listened to it so many times that day.
Like
that
starting
knew.
At midnight. It was like they consumed the songs well enough. Then by 9 o'clock, they're ready to sing.
That's got to make
cool.
you guys feel good. That's your art. Those are your thoughts and your everything put down. And
it's very exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah,
man.
So last question. So let's say there's somebody who hasn't heard your music yet, and you had to pick one song, one Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown song that defines the band and says, "Here, listen to this. This is us." What do you choose?
That's pretty tough.
That is I'm gonna let Tyler answer this one, man.
Yeah, there are a lot of different flavors to the band. That's kind of what's tricky. Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm just gonna.
Maybe you're too close to it to know.
I think so.
Two, maybe we could get it down.
All right,
to
pick two.
Yeah.
I would say.
I'm stumped on this, to be honest with you.
I'm so stumped because
This is Lainey's fault. It was her question.
It's a great question.
It's a great
question. So there's a few different flavors of the band. There's obviously the blues influence. There's the hard rock influence, and then there's this like grungy But then there's also a more mellow, melodic side. So I would say 2 songs to check out would be I would say "Couldn't See the Fire" because it's riffy, melodic, and there's also blazing guitars, and then also maybe "Lipstick Wonder Woman," which is a completely different vibe altogether. But yeah, more of the, I grew up on the blues. Once I got hip to Elvis, then I started looking up all these old blues guys, and the blues then led me to rock and roll, and here we are. So we never try to stay with in one box. We kind of just play whatever we feel, and sometimes it's all over the map, but I think it makes the records more interesting because it's not just 13 of the same song, Right. There's a lot of different flavors.
I know I put you on the spot, but they should really check out the whole catalog.
Yeah, check out all of it.
I think those are good, though. Those are good representation.
Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for the performance, and
Thank
man,
you
we're looking
so
forward
much.
to watching you guys grow.
Thanks for
man.
having
We
us.
can't wait to play
You're going to be
tonight.
here for the show tonight, yeah?
Of course.
All right,
That's why we're here, man.
Yeah,
we're here
love
for
it.
music and hanging
All
out, right?
Love it.
Tyler Bryant and
Thanks
the
for having us,
Shakedown
guys.
with the world headquarters of rock, iRockRadio.
Thank y'all.